Now we're talking turkey today. I've got CJ Davis with Nikon here, and CJ, people have seen me with my 3 boys as they've grown up use the Nikon red dot scope on the shotgun during turkey season, which is, I think, a great tool for kids especially. But now more adult turkey hunters are going to the scopes.
Right.
And the red dot has certain things that can bite you, as in
batteries can go dead, and you could forget to turn it on.
Which I have.
I think everyone's done that once. But you're right about, you know, getting young shooters or new shooters into it. An optic on a turkey gun is a great tool because, as you know, a turkey's an easy animal to miss, especially with today's guns and loads. I mean, this TC-20 gauge shoots such a tight load at a close range. You have to have an optic or you'll miss if you're not doing everything right. So it serves a purpose for a young shooter as well as you mentioned getting into an older shooter.
If you're a really good caller and you call them in really close, which I can't, then you better be on your game, you know.
That's right.
But this particular scope here is a new Nikon Turkey Pro BTR.
That's right. BTR stands for Ballistic Turkey Reticle. It's basically a circle within a circle technology, so no matter if the shooter has it on the high power or the low power, and it's a 1.65 to 5 power range, then you've got a method to use to range that turkey, because you know sometimes you're in the brush, you've turned, you've set up 3 or 4 times, you don't know where he's coming, bam, there he is. So you can look through that scope and get a quick idea of how far he is. It's not as accurate as a laser rangefinder, but in the heat of the moment when you can't get to your rangefinder, it gives you a method to gauge if he's in range or not.
Absolutely. Now tell us what's important when you're mounting the scope.
Well, a turkey scope to me is a lot different than a rifle scope. This scope has 5 inches of consistent eye relief, so it doesn't matter if you're on high power or low power. So you don't really have to worry about hitting yourself like you did on some of the earlier models. But when you're sighting it in, you know, you mount it on the scope, you want to get off the bench and sit down up against a tree because you're going to be, you know, lean back against a tree, you're scrunched up more. So you want to make sure you get that scope to where you are seeing through it clearly, high and low power. And then as you're sighting it in, you can go back to the bench to make sure you've got it dialed in. But then once you've done all that, get back on the tree again and shoot just like you were in a turkey hunting position, because it changes the dynamics of view to the gun. And also with a turkey scope, it's almost the opposite of a rifle scope because you need it more for close up, just like you're talking about. When that turkey comes in close, these patterns out of these guns these days are so tight that you need a fine aiming point, and it's easy to pull your cheek off the stock or lean to the left or the right, totally miss the turkey. But with a scope, you're dialing in for that close range. As the pattern expands farther out, you got a little more margin for error. But make sure you set the scope up for what you're going to be doing with it. In a turkey hunting scenario, you need to plan on the way you set up for a turkey hunt.
Perfect. The Nikon Turkey Pro BTR, and you can go to nikonhunting.com to find out more.